I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This is
It's your home.
oh man, I got this. They love me too, man. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Horror Fiends. Welcome to Three Corners of Horror live on Horror Fiend TV. I am Joe, and let me introduce you to my brothers here in case this is your first time. If you're returning, thank you for watching again. First up, JR. Brother, how you doing? How you feeling?
It's had some personal things happen, but here, ready to go. But gotta ask you guys before we get started. I know you guys don't watch trailers, but it was a massive trailer that dropped based on a childhood cartoon that we used to all watch.
I saw it.
So are you guys excited about Masters of the Universe and the actress who's playing the sorceress?
Who is playing the sorceress?
It's a girl from Deadpool, right?
Deadpool, yeah. Copycat from Deadpool.
Oh, Morena?
Morena,
Morena
yeah.
Baccarin or something like that.
I'm more excited for Alison Brie playing Evil Lynn.
Evil Lynn. I do know who some of the people they're playing. I did not see the trailer. The thing is, I did see a still photo, and they were like saying, and I'm like, all right. I'm not even gonna say what I saw because I don't want to.
Was it my man sitting at his desk at work?
He-Man?
Yeah. What's his name again?
Nicholas Glatsky.
No. What's He-Man's full name?
Adam.
Adam.
Well, I didn't even know he was at work. What I saw was him getting, I guess, like arrested as he's in dress clothes. Maybe he was leaving work.
I will say this. All the eternity stuff looks pretty damn good. I'll be honest. Skeletor looks amazing. Too bad it's Jared Leto. But I'm afraid that, again, the movie starts with him on Earth as some peon working a 9-to-5 job, taking orders from a boss. I hate. Why did they gotta do that? That's not human.
All right, so like maybe
bullshit,
his father sent him to Earth to get away, for him to grow
Wait
up.
till you see how he gets
And
his
when
sword.
Oh God, funny, man.
Hey Joe, your boy
No.
Fisto's in it too, bro.
Why is it gotta be my boy? How about you, Ricky? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Yeah, I can't complain, man. It's been a while. So let's. The reason why I saw this Masters of the Universe trailer was I honestly got low expectations for this movie, man. I'll be honest. But
Same.
to answer Jared's question, the trailer did give me a little bit more hype for it. Again, I hope the Earth shit's like the first 10-15 minutes and it's out. I doubt it. I got a feeling it might be half the fucking movie. But the stuff in Eternia looks fucking great, though. The Castle Grayskull, that's everything on it. So, yeah, Joe, check out the trailer, bro. Just check
What
it
makes
out.
me nervous
Take
too,
it for
Rick?
me. Take it for me. I don't watch trailers, but
What makes me nervous too, Rick, is like when you watch the trailer and when you go to Eternia, you do get like if you're watching World of Warcraft when it came out.
yeah.
So you're like, this shit looks good. Hope they
Yeah,
don't
because
ruin it.
when World of Warcraft, when I saw that trailer for the first time, I had to see that trailer.
Yeah.
It looks great. Even the movie now, I'm a World of Warcraft apologist as far as the film. I enjoyed it.
I did.
But I think the CGI looks good.
Yeah.
The set designs, everything looks great. It's just when he's a mortal on Earth. Don't know why they had to include that, but
Well, I mean, like I said, maybe it's that he got sent there so you can keep him away.
yeah, but the problem is it doesn't matter. It shouldn't even be. He shouldn't even be there. He should be in Eternia from the.
No, I know.
very beginning,
Trust
you know
me.
what I mean?
I
That's
watched the
Hollywood being
cartoon.
scared. They're scared.
Yeah,
They
I
want
watched-
the casual fans won't like it there. They'll feel they don't know what this alien world is. Let's get them familiar first, and then we'll bring them there. Like 45 minutes in. Man. I will
I'm
say one
hoping
thing. I'm
not.
disappointed with one thing. There is no merman in this film. At least, not that I know. of.
Well,
not to keep
he's
on
my
the subject,
favorite.
I think what it is too is He-Man is our childhood.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Get
man,
this
hell
new
yeah.
audience to watch it who have no idea
Yeah.
about He-Man is
That's
a
true.
big it's a big gap. It's a big bridge that they have to cross. And I'm sure majority of people that are going to be going to watch this movie in theater are people like us bringing our kids.
Yeah.
This is what we grew up watching. Enjoy it. Hopefully, they do it right. Hopefully, it makes Skeletor a tear leather. Always makes me nervous. But
But
hopefully
what's cool about it, you don't see him at all.
you don't see him. Yeah.
This ain't the MCU. This ain't him taking his mask off. There ain't no mask, bro. So
Yeah,
thank
no.
God it'll just be a vocal performance. And he's fucking jacked, yo. You seen him, GR?
Mm-hmm.
Skeletor looks fucking like the action figure. You know how the action figure was Mad Diesel and shit?
Look at
I'm
Joe,
excited
like,
for it. I'll be honest. That trailer got more excited. It got a little worried a little bit, but I'm more excited than I was going in.
I can't share. I didn't see the trailer, so
Watch it though. Trust me, I'm not a
I
trailer
will.
guy, you know that, but it's He-Man. It's not a horror film or Avengers.
well, I
or
mean,
anything.
actually, I've been trying to time so when I get to the theater, like literally the movie starts. And this last time we sat down and the popcorn thing came up, and I said, perfect timing. So I think we got the.
There wasn't
timing.
a lot of over exciting trailers that
I
came
missed
out.
all
I mean,
the trailers.
I think the only one that really came out that people were talking about a little bit was Scream 7.
Oh,
Everything else
I
was
didn't even
like-
know
They had
that.
a trailer for that,
Yeah,
and that shit did not make the rounds online because I didn't see.
Yeah, I
it.
didn't even hear about it.
I don't care about that movie. As you know,
That's
a
the problem.
couple
It's like
of our live streams prior to this, I already told you I have no interest in that. I'll see it, but expectations are
Low.
Yeah,
I mean, the last one, wasn't like my favorite, and I'm the Scream fan here. So I mean, same
come
thing.
on, I'm a Scream fan, but do you know how many Ghostface figures I own, bro?
I mean, no, I'm just saying like the last
I
one
know, I know,
wasn't
you're
all
right.
that great,
It's
and like
busted
so
your
I
balls, it's
have
busted your
like
balls.
low expectations on that also.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, but with that, y'all ready to talk some runners because these are not shamblers, and no, this is not a brazen bruise. Yeah, I'm still doing that damn dry January. But other than that, feeling good and
Fucking
lost some
God.
weight. So hey, I'm feeling good. I got to start
You'll
getting
feel
into.
good until next month when you start fucking hitting the sauce.
Nah,
With your
nah.
boy Ricky Fan. Yo.
Nah, I got some studying I got to start doing. So
Oh, that's cool,
yeah,
that's
things are gonna be changing a little bit. But
Alright.
yeah. So yep, here we go. It is another part to our trilogy. We did enjoy the first one. The ending was a little bit kind of, for some of us, not too much of a thrill, which kind of led to possibly why not that many people went to the theaters to go see 28 years later, The Bone Temple, directed by Nia DaCosta and written by Alex Garland, starring Ralph Fiennes as Dr. Kelson, Jack O'Connell as Jimmy Crystal, and Alfie Williams as Spike. And this is the second chapter in the trilogy, kind of, setting up for the next one, whose title is yet to be determined. So I don't have that one. I tried to look it up, make sure to see if I had it ahead of time. But with that, we get a little bit more story into the infected and the mysterious Dr. Kelson. So actually, I'll go to Rick first because I do almost always go to JR first. I'll go to Rick first on this one.
You said the mysterious Dr. Kelson. I would start with going back to the first film. When I saw the first film, I really did enjoy it. I loved it until the very end with the Jimmies, and I expressed that when we reviewed that film the first time here. Oh, actually, it was me and Joe for Brains and Brews. Wasn't a fan of that at all. But on my rewatch when it launched onto streaming, I watched it again, and I think I told you, Joe, I said, "Damn, dude, you know what? That ending, not as bad as I thought. It actually was pretty cool in a sense because it was so jarring that it just completely came out of nowhere, and that was the ending of the film. And I dug that, but I was still a little worried going into this because I didn't see no trailers. I didn't read about anything. I didn't even know that it had a different director at all, until close to screen time. So what I will say is this movie, The Bone Temple, this kind of reminds me of like Kill Bill 1 and 2, where they're completely different movies in a sense. And I will say that Ralph Fiennes, his character journey in this movie to me was the complete highlight. He's a fantastic actor for one, and we get a sense of like how he's living like by himself, and just his everyday like grind at what he gets up, and it's very mundane. He's got like the same routine. He's by himself. He doesn't really communicate with no other individual, and his relationship with Samson really was a highlight for me as well. It was such a joy. Like the character of Samson to me just completely separates. You mentioned walkers earlier, Joe. That character really does prove that the infected here, they're not zombies. They're not undead. Why? Because you could just slice them and they die. They're still human. They still like their heart still beats, and you could still kill them the same way you can kill any individual human. So Samson, the fact that I love the character of Dr. Ian, because he has these crazy theories, but they're all hypotheses at this point. But until he meets Samson, he starts doing all these little mini experiments on him, and to me it made sense how we slowly started to like I want to say he devolved into that infected character, but he was starting to evolve back into his human self, and it was at one point when Samson's in that train. I'll get back to that later, but and he gets attacked by the infected. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot this is like an infected movie. Like, I didn't care. The character moments to me is what really stood out in this movie. And every time him and Samson were together, it just brought a smile to my face. The trust, the way the trust started building slowly, was incredible. And that's a big hat tip to the two actors, and they killed it in that sense. When it comes to the Jimmies, now the Jimmies really took me for a twist, because this kind of reminded me like a Tarantino film as well. Because when we first meet them, they're shacked up in some poor groups, like their hut where they live, they eat, and they just took over the place. My ignorant ass thought that they were good guys coming from the last movie, because we saw them as a little kid earlier, and even though we did see the cross in the first film, I didn't really understand those characters. So seeing them here, and they're wearing wigs, which I didn't know that when we first saw them. I thought they were all just blonde people, and that was such an intense moment, because he went from jovial and friendly, and just a very a guy you would just crack a beer with, until like conniving and sinister at the drop of a dime, bro. Jack O'Connell, man, I saw him first in Sinners. He was good, but this movie really opened up my eyes to how much of an actor he could be, because he does command screen presence, and that's the one thing he gave us. And the twist with the satanic cult, the fact that there was a satanic cult, I think that's what drives it over the top. And my dumbass again didn't pick up on it, because when we first saw Jimmy Inc. with the upside down cross etched to her and right between her eyes, I'm like, why the fuck does she has an upside down? Not even thinking it's like anything satanic related. And when that when that came into play, it really drove home the fact that he surrounded himself with all these other younger people that don't really remember the old world, and this is what they're getting taught at an early age. So to them, this shit's real. Satanism is real. What would they call him? Saint Nick? Is that what they call him? Or Big Nick? What they call him?
I thought Long Neck.
Old Nick? What?
Long Neck, I thought it was.
No, it was Nick.
Nick, yeah, Nick.
Oh.
What was it, yeah, what they call Dr. Keller? It was something Nick. I forgot. Big Nick's, whatever. Anyway,
I think it was Old Nick.
Nicholas Scratch. We all know that's Satan. That's the devil. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
So yeah. But I just, I didn't pick up on that. I was like, why does he keep calling him Nick? Then when he said he's red and he's surrounded by bones and all that stuff. And I'm sitting in the theater like, oh my God, there are satanic cults. How did I not pick up on that? All that was incredible, especially when the musical performance came in. It looks goofy on the surface, but if you think about it, this group of characters, these Jimmies, they're experiencing probably music either for the first time or the first time in a long time, and of course it has to be, it's Iron Maiden, right? No, is it Judas Priest or Iron Maiden? Iron Maiden. Yeah, Number of the Beast. Yeah, the perfect fucking song for it, and the fact that too they got drugged, so it even enhanced it even more, bro. Joe, when you saw that shit, what was that, like perico? What is that? Was it meth? What was that shit he blew on him? What is that?
I was thinking peyote or something.
Peyote, right? Something like that. I don't know. It was some hallucinogen.
Yeah.
Bro.
Or dried mushroom.
They were probably like, they were like, oh my God, it's the fucking devil. This is Nick. This is our boy Nick. And they're fucking seeing. I loved all that shit. And then once, the climax comes, I think the movie ends really. I love the ending of the movie. It's so apropos that Jimmy was crucified in the form of an upside down cross. I thought that was great. The only thing I didn't like that part, that little jump scare with Samson came back and grabbed him. Like, oh come on, man, that's low, bro. You don't need to do that. But I would conclude my section of this because I'm going a little long. Is with Jim, the return of Jim. Did you know he was gonna be in this movie?
Mm-mm.
That wasn't. That
No.
was never told or nothing. Okay.
I
so
mean,
that
I didn't.
was
I
a
try not
surprise.
to read up. Yeah, I try not to read up on the things because
Yeah,
I was
I thought.
disappointed that he didn't pop in the first one, so I just didn't want to hold on.
Yeah,
To
same. But hey, everyone thought he was that infected guy in the first one, so I'd rather have him be
Yeah.
alive. But to end the film in such a positive note, him and his daughter Sam, I loved how they were like superheroes. When she was like, "Are we gonna help?" and he's like, "Of course," and he just ran off, and the camera pans. I'm like, what a perfect way to end this film. And the funny part is, going into this, I did not realize this was a new trilogy. I thought this was it. I thought this was the last because they filmed these back to back.
it.
So
Yeah.
I'm assuming, all right, this is it. So I was like, what a great way to end it. But then I was like, what the fuck? What happened to Aaron Taylor Johnson's character? Like I hope he comes back in the next one, and I hope the next one does revolve around Jim and Sam. And I want to know what happened to the wife.
I'll ask that later because
Yeah.
I'm curious
But
everybody's
yeah,
thoughts.
that's
for the
that's
next
my
one.
initial thoughts on the film, and I fucking love this movie. I'll be honest, I loved it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'll tell you this for now. You may not agree with me, but this movie as a whole is better than the first one. Not the first one. I mean, the first 28 years later. Not that it's better by a mile, but I think it's a better film. Acting wise, fucking amazing.
All right, let's hit up those comments. But we get JR's thoughts here.
Yeah, you can pop them up too, man. While I was talking. Why,
forgot.
hello, my devilishly handsome. So excited to see y'all next week. That's right, Joe. What are we doing next week?
Return to Silent Hill.
There you go. The fourth corner will be in the house. And Adam says, but he was still thinking about curing them. He's a little crazy for sure, but still sees the best in the human race. I love that you brought that up,
awesome.
Adam, because when when Ian met Jimmy Crystal, and he started talking about like the infection, and that's when Jimmy was like, "Oh wait, so he's talking about science? Like what the fuck? This ain't science." That was pretty cool. Oh yeah, is that Lexi? And yep. All right. The head Jimmy was a lot, but dealing with trauma in his own way. But I was totally hoping what happened to him would happen. Yeah, it sucks that his character is gone. Well, we don't know that yet, actually, but I think he is. I would like to see more of him. The nudity was a lot, though.
It was one-sided.
Yeah,
It
the
was
first one was way
one-sided.
worse.
Come
The
on.
first one was way. Hey, you got to see
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes, so
One-sided.
come on, guys.
Yeah. All right.
But he
What
must
about-
stink. The holy shit. He didn't. I thought he was gonna take a shower. He just undresses.
What about you, Jared? What are your thoughts on the one?
Well, I thought it was interesting, because I felt like this movie was more about Samson and the character Samson. And it's one of those things where what I really like that what the movie did is we got to listen to what it is that Samson listens to when he's walking around. I mean, the guy's like super hearing and shit. I mean, this dude was listening to shit miles away, people laughing. I mean, he was imagining some of the stuff because of the fact that he was starting to go back to his memories, which I liked that a lot too, because we know these things are alive still. We know that they're just infected. We've seen it in basically, you go to the land of the dead where the zombies are guys who still thinks he works at a gas station, still trying to, every time he hears the thing, he's trying to bump. So there was like certain movies have done this where the so-called infected has started, getting their memories kind of back. And I love that train scene, not the attack, which I think Rick is going to go about. It was the actual Samson getting the flashbacks of what it was like being on the train.
That was incredible.
Which I love that a lot. The fact that he goes, "Yeah, I don't have a ticket," and the zombies start attacking. I mean, the infected start attacking. I thought it was great. I thought, all right, this is awesome. And as I'm watching this film, like a lot of questions started popping in my head. It's like, all right, so what happened to the infected baby? The fact that we didn't go that route, which I understand what they're doing, because come the third installment, it's going to be a lot that they're going to throw out of this. But because you still have one of the biggest like plot holes still out there, as far as where's Jimmy's father, because he was infected. He led his whole congregation on infected people, basically. So is that going to be the big boss in the third one, which I'm thinking that they have to come back around to that. One of the things about this film, and I picked this up earlier, I've seen some people talking about it, is there is controversy as far as the Jimmy character is involved. I was gonna try to avoid it, but I think this is maybe why some people didn't go watch this film. As far as people live in UK, because the Jimmy character is actually kind of based off this character Jimmy Savile,
Yeah.
who basically he was a big childhood star, big radio star in UK. He wore the bling bling, had the white hair, the tracksuit. So people started seeing that, and people started commenting on that. And unfortunately, this guy was a prolific sex
Monster.
offender, for like 60 years. So that gives you a little bit more of the Jimmy character being a monster because he was still he was like Charles Manson.
Was that done by design, you think?
Yeah, it was done by design.
Wow, what a weird choice then.
Yeah, it was done by design. They knew that people in the States were not going to recognize it. It was predominantly
I never heard of it.
everybody in the UK, that they started talking about it. But, like, for example, you had that scene where, he was constantly talking about the Teletubbies. And then he's telling which I was so pissed off she died because she suffered the most out of all of them. Girl got the thing stuck in her head. She's on the floor and then she gets burnt on top of that. But she was my favorite character out of the Jimmys, to be honest, man. I kind of hope that she lived longer because I like that scene where, she told the guy, you picked me because you thought I was weaker, like I was smaller, and she fucked him up. But I liked it the way it went because you did have, Ian and Samson, how basically, when Samson started recognizing Ian was, shooting at him, you're sitting there like, oh, all right, so he's trained every time he sees a thing, he's gonna stop. But then, like, no, he wanted to get high. So that was the whole point. He wanted to get high.
Yep.
So they're sitting there getting high the whole time, and the fact that here's Ian. I mean, I thought Samson was gonna kill him. Hey, Miss Wilson.
Mrs. Wilson, what's up? How you doing? What ups? All right. Oh, I'm sorry, Gio. I didn't want to.
No, sorry.
I wanted to get to that.
All right. You want to get our boy real
a
quick?
good friend of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy's there. You want to jump on?
Yeah, no. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, but it's this movie did a lot, and I think to go back to your point a little bit, Rick, about how you compared this one's better than the first one. I mean, the first one is still the introduction. This one build more to it because this one answered a lot of the questions that we had about the affected. The fact that you see what's going on with Samson, and you're sitting there thinking, all right, was there something that could have been done to regress the infection, to control it to the point where people could kind of go back to normal in a way? But unfortunately, I think the sad part about it died with Ian. Unless somebody finds his stuff, you're not gonna know anything.
I know.
And unless I'm curious how the next one, how Samson is. Is Samson going to continue to, get back to normal? The fact that he's resistant to the infection, how does that affect him?
Learned that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of interesting things. I'm curious what happens if Samson goes back to that village and he starts talking to him. Well, listen, I killed a bunch of y'all. I was an accident. I wasn't me the whole time. But
he's gonna get all of those infected and talk to him, bring them to his side.
Yeah,
I hope not. That'd be too.
No, that'd be too.
Yeah.
That'd be too Hollywood, and I don't think they're
too big daddy.
Yeah.
Joe.
No, but this film was good. I mean, I sat there, I enjoyed it. I liked the routes it took. I like that you had the Jimmys basically get decimated at the end. The girl, I forgot her name, is Kelly with the cross upside down.
That's Erin Kellerman. She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Falcon and the Soldier. Yeah. She was in I think Rogue One. I think it was one of the
Yep.
Solo. Oh no,
Rogue
the
One.
Solo movie. I think the Solo.
Yeah, Solo.
Yeah, she's in a lot of shit. I recognized her immediately. I was like, oh, there she is.
No, it's good. It had a lot of good.
Willow. She was in Willow too.
Yeah, this film is good. It's definitely it makes me want the third one even more because they're gonna hit us with everything. And the way the movie ended, I liked a lot.
Hell yeah, I love it.
I knew eventually he was gonna show up. Once they showed the house, I'm like, all right, here he is. Here he is. I'm like, they're finally gonna show him. That it's funny because the house where they were staying at kind of reminded me of the house where they were staying at in Shaun of the Dead at the end. It was almost the same thing in the corner by itself. You had to shed it. I was like, all right, is this the same house they used as Shaun of the Dead? But no, overall, I mean, it is a good film. I think it's exciting what they're doing. Even after they're done with this trilogy, I sat there and I was talking to Priscilla about it. I was like, I want a Samson solo film, man. I wanted to see this guy, what happened to the days leading to what how he got affected.
And now he wears pants now, or like a little skirt type, thing covering
A
his
loincloth.
Loincloth. Speaking of He-Man, there you go.
Overall, yeah, I'm interested to see what Joe says about this one.
Yeah, let's hit up the other comment real quick. Our man DeRay, hope you're doing well, my friend. You and your family. DeRay says, I like this way better than the first 28 years later, but it barely felt like a 28 movie. That's what I liked about it, though. Get back to this. It was more like a Brokeback Infected. I really liked the Jimmies, though. They were fun. I never saw that movie. I don't know what's the reference, but the Jimmies were fun. I'll be honest. At first, Joe knows I hated it, but they did a good job. I really enjoyed those characters. Hello, horror fan. Mama Rose. Hello, how are you? We horror fam, you a horror fiend.
Hello, Mama Rose. Damn, I got lost again for a second there.
You good, Joe?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Today,
I'm
bro.
good.
Come on,
No,
man.
it's hey, listen.
Oh man, I can't wait
somebody...
till dry January is over, man.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll discuss that later.
I'm kidding.
But okay. So for me, the first one was a coming of age story. It was about Alfie. The second one was Alfie going out to be a man and actually seeing that the monsters in the world aren't these infected, but it's humans. We've seen that premise before, and I'm not hating on it, but what I did like is on this one, I thought the scene where the Jimmies, I don't know if they were a family or just a group of people that were all living together to help, survive. Yeah. If when they showed up and they went all fucking French extremity on them, I was like, all right, this is kind of showing you that this is like, they're giving you the opposite side, and again, we saw this in The Walking Dead. It's the only kind of reference I'll go where they show you that, man is the worst monster over the people who are infected. And I was kind of glad that Jimmy got his end. I'm glad that you corrected on the name because I kept on saying, why the fuck do they keep calling him Long Neck? I'm like, did the devil have a long neck in something?
Joe,
So yeah, I went the
surprised you
whole
didn't get that.
movie going Long Neck. What a weird name for the devil that they have. It just kind of had thrown me off. Hold on. I was kind of hoping for the Jimmys versus Samson fight, but I get, they're saving for Samson to be involved with the third one. It sucks that the Cure died with Ian, like JR said. But the other part is that the only reason that Samson was getting better was because he started figuring out what the dosages were, which involved the stuff for the psychotics. He's not going to be getting the medication again. So he's going to end up reverting unless he paid attention to what, Ian was giving him. He's not going to know the dosages to give himself. So you are probably going to see Samson revert back, especially after he fought all the other ones and came out covered in blood. So he's literally head to toe covered in infection with Ian now dead, not able to give him, what he's basically been returning back his humanity. I did like the interaction with that. And when I go to rate it, I'll say where the interaction hit a little bit of negative on me, but overall it was better than the first one. I did see something people were complaining about, that there was not a lot of infected. I kind of felt like I got a good dose of infected in the movie. Like it wasn't, because you know what? If you just keep putting infected, what are you going to see? The same thing you've seen in all the other movies. Is that really what you want to keep seeing?
Yeah.
Like you just want to keep saying the same shit over? No, they're going to add you a little bit more, which is again where it leads you to the first one. I was like, I'm not looking forward to this one. The ending of this one, I'm looking forward to the next one. So this is where it left me. But yeah, it was more of, Alfie saying, "I need to go back home, Daddy," because I wanted to be a
Fuck
man.
that kid, man.
I
That
met some
motherfucker was
That
sadness.
kid needs to get
bro.
killed, man.
Oh my god! Well, and it's funny because I think I wrote his name down, but the guy who lit up the canister and set the girl on fire and blew. So
Yeah, like Nick,
that
not
is
Nick.
that is Andy Serkis's son.
Oh, he's a circus.
He's a circus because I had looked it up and they
He
were
looked
like,
like a
like
younger
and-
James Marsden to me.
well, and I because I was trying to see he looked
Oh,
familiar
nice,
and
nice.
I was like, I did not see Andy in there, but yeah, I thought, you know, like especially because you said he thought he picked the wrong one, you know, and just granted he was gonna die had it not been for the girl putting that hook in the back of the head, which was a pretty cool scene when she started like talking gibberish. So I yeah, this one I did like better than the first one. I almost fell asleep a couple times in the first one. I didn't fall asleep for this one. So that's a bonus when it comes to a long movie, which is what I'll complain about at the end. But before we if there anything, say hello to anyone before we go to your score here.
What was that? Was that a
Yeah,
little
what
drum?
was that?
Mama Rose, just letting y'all know that tomorrow is Lexi's birthday. Happy birthday to my
Oh.
beautiful baby girl. That's
Happy
right.
birthday,
The
Lexi.
fourth corner
Birthday.
is turning 21 tomorrow, so happy birthday to her.
Make me spit my water.
I wish I was turning 21, bro.
Nah.
Yeah, we'll have Lexi next week, and we'll make it special for her.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do something for her. Happy early birthday, Lexi, from Mrs. Wilson. Also looking forward to the third. Yeah, the third movie. Again, I didn't know it was even a thing. I'm glad. I hope that Jim thing wasn't just a little tease for this movie. Like, here you go, here's Jim. He's alive. I want him to have a part in the next one, and I want Aaron Taylor Johnson's character to come back too with the baby.
They'll be coming back.
I need that closure. I
feel like we're gonna get a massive thing at the end.
Yeah. Mrs. Wilson says not to change subjects. That's all good. That's what we do. I am so excited for Return to Silent Hill. Yeah. Oh man,
We'll be talking about it next week.
That's gonna be a fun one.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a fun one.
All right, Mr. Ricky,
What up?
give us your score.
Yeah. 1 second. Shit. I just. All right. So. 1 second. I got everything got fucking jumbled here. So, all right. When you mentioned that, all right, I'm gonna go before I do my score. A couple cons that I have to just address. You mentioned the scene when the Jimmy got the hook through the back of her head, which was cool. It was very cool. But what I didn't like, and this movie was filled with things like this. This kind of takes me out of it at certain times. When she got hooked, she was gibbering for a while. And then when she falls, all of a sudden, that's when all the Jimmies react to it. Like, what? What the hell? Like, they're not going to see the hook flying down and impaling her in the head. They're all there. No one saw that. You know what I mean? Like, I know they wanted the dramatic effect of her just sitting there and the blood slowly coming down and dripping on the guy on the floor. But the fact that nobody reacted only until she flopped over, they're not going to see that or hear that. I was like, oh, okay, that's the director taking liberties. Like, they knew that was not accurate, but they were going for, fuck it, we want this dramatic effect instead.
Look, grab at us.
Yeah, so it could go either way, but stuff like that, it sticks in the back of my mind, like, oh, no, but, and Samson's Cure, to me, seems really fast, though. That's my other nitpick here. Even though I loved everything about it, it just seemed like it was too easy. Like, I don't know, if it would have had started in the first movie, like, experimenting and trying to come up with something, and then it leads to here, but I get it. You don't got all the time in the world. But other than that, I loved it, and I wish that we got a little bit more Jack O'Connell. His character as Jimmy. I know the controversy aside, I didn't know about all of that. I really did enjoy his performance. He was menacing. He could be charming, and those are the worst kinds. Like he's a liar. He's lying to his flock, essentially, consistently lying.
How do you
to these
think cult
motherfuckers,
people
bro.
get you?
I know, and that's
the charm.
That's the beauty of it. But you gotta understand too. Not you, Joe. I'm saying you, but like he doesn't know anything about the outside. He was 8 years old, give or take. He don't remember what his life was before that. He remembers Teletubbies, right? But he doesn't know. He grew up in this religious fanatic family that his own father, right, just
preacher.
fucking led all these fucking infected. He's witnessing all this shit. And he's like, he's thinking his dad's controlling these guys probably, not because they're infected. He doesn't. Their lives growing up were completely different. So I liked all that, and the fact that there wasn't that many infected. It's funny because I forgot when the one scene when the guy was fighting them off, and all of a sudden he just stopped and he's like started puking blood and like, what the fuck? He didn't get bit. Oh my god, you don't have to get bit. What, did he get blood in his eyes or something?
Yeah,
Like
blood.
that's what it was. I forgot about it. We went so long without like those rules. I completely forgot, but you know what? I didn't care. Like I love the movie so much, like you said, Joe. It wasn't that much, but we got it in the previous film. We got it in the other two films before this. It'll be overkill. This was a great character piece that was carried, not carried because it was bad, but just the performances of all of our main cast. So it's not a perfect film again because a lot of things were like I don't like the choices they made just for like editing purposes, but I'm gonna give it a 4.5.
All right. And for everybody who's listening, go ahead on the comment section.
Drop your
We'd like
score.
to start you guys to start doing that. Give us your score on the movie also. And if you want to say any positive or negative too. JR, the villain. Actually, knowing that he's not coming in a villain on this one, that's pretty good.
Oh, I thought
No,
you-
listen, I always liked the 28 years, movies. I thought they were, even the second one, people forget, Jimmy Renner was in that one. That one had a great cast. That one had a good storyline too. So these always had good storylines, and these always had good characters as far as in their films. That's one of the things that makes 28 Years such a good franchise is they know how to cast. They know how to pick characters. They know how to tell their stories. And this one did it too. It's like I didn't want a lot. I'll be honest, I didn't want a lot of infected. I felt like when the infected showed, they were shown when they were needed to be shown, and to remind us that they're there. But I didn't want to see like the same one as we saw, in the first one, that grotesque looking one crawling on the floor. I didn't want to see those because going into this film, as I'm watching, I'm like, all right, I'm expecting a fucking massacre in the third one because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a massacre, and trying to figure out what is going to happen leading to that massacre, I think is, what has us even more curious of the third one. But this one, like the Samson character was great. Like I said, I like how they developed them, and this is two of the things that we talked about when we reviewed the first one. We wanted more Dr. Ian, and we got it.
Yeah.
We wanted more Samson, and we got it. And to backtrack on one thing is, Ian had a relationship already going with Samson, so they were familiar with each other. We saw glimpses of that in the first one.
You're right. Yep.
So we don't know how long this has been going on. This like love-hate relationship, which ended up being love-love relationship.
I thought they were going there at one point, bro. Come on, this guy's slung is hanging out. And this guy's over here all like.
That's how he covered him up.
Oh no! Wait a minute.
Dancing
Oh,
naked,
no,
and
no.
he's dancing naked in front of Samson. I'm like,
Is that where the Brokeback Mountain comment came from?
Yes.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that was D-Ray. Yeah.
There was still a lot of questions like, did Samson remember what happened to the pregnant and infected that Ian kind of took and basically disintegrated her and added her to the bone collection? But that's what this when I walked out of the theater, I had so many thoughts about different things in this movie. Like I forgot that pregnant woman she was very athletic. The fact that she jumped into role.
Oh, I forgot about her. What happened to her?
Well, she's the one that threw the thing. She's the one at the end. She was
Yeah, I
with,
know,
Mike. So that was her at the end.
No,
No,
the
no.
redhead.
Oh no, the redhead took off.
The pregnant.
Yeah, she took off. She took off.
off
She might.
running.
Yeah, she might.
She'll
She might
probably
pop
end
up.
up in. She'll probably end up in that village, and then she'll probably tell this dude's
Jamie.
listen, your son is he's with a bad group of people now.
She didn't recognize him though.
No,
Maybe
she
she'll
punched him
mention
pretty
something
good.
like,
she'll mention something to him.
This boy let me go or something like that.
Well, I
Yeah.
punched this boy.
Yeah, good
basically
call.
friends killed my.
Good
right?
shout.
So there's
Yeah,
gonna
I
be a
can see
lot
that.
of there's gonna be a lot of things going on. Once again, this kid needs to get killed. He just drives me crazy in this movie.
Spike.
But yeah, it's I liked it the Jimmys. I liked it the whole Charles Manson thing. Priscilla made a good point. She was like, this guy just sits back and he has them do all the torture and killing. He doesn't lift a finger for nothing.
The fingers, they're the five fingers.
Well,
of
it
the
was
hand
supposed
of
to be
Satan.
7 fingers.
Yeah, I know.
It was 7 fingers, and you're like, what the hell happened to the other 3? And if
Well,
you
now
want
we
in,
know.
Yeah, if you want in, you got to kill one off, and you're like, Jesus Christ, man, who wants to be in that gang?
No.
But the fact that like you say, he's building these lies upon lies upon lies because that's the only way he has the power to control these.
Pathological lie.
Yeah, they're kids. They're basically he's controlling kids, and between old Nick, my father, my father started this, so there was a lot of things in that we still are waiting for answers. Like I said,
Old
I
Nick.
think
That's what it was,
old
GR.
Nick,
Old Nick.
old Nick.
You should have said that before. You forgot. Now you just randomly said it. Y'all love you, GR. You funny dude, bro.
No, but the funny thing is, like,
Oh,
I want that. I want that father to come back around because I want to see how big the congregation got. Because he right now he goes, follow me, and basically they all started following him.
God,
So
you're right, yeah.
I still think that's the boss at the end of this because I won't be surprised if it's Samson versus that dude. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the third one. I give this a 4.5. I mean, if I had a nitpick at it, I mean, at certain points in the film, it felt like it was going like a little slow. What did you remove in order to get this in? What did you basically sacrifice? Was there more scenes that were like that part where Samson tore that dude's head off and started eating his brains and shit? Were there more scenes of that? I mean, what was edited
What
out?
scene was that?
This is when Samson was hunting. He had the pack with him, and there was
in
those
the first movie.
No, in this one.
This
one
one?
he was he ate the brains. He ripped grabbed the
When
guy
was
by
that?
the face, ripped his head out, opened his skull, and he's eating his brains.
I missed that. When was that?
No, you're muted.
I mean, I know it was right before. Actually, he ate the brains, then he went to go visit Dr. Kelson.
To go see Ian. Basically, ate the brains.
Yeah, he was sitting there
and-
like with the skull open, just eating
Yeah.
brains. And I'm in my head going, "Oh no, they made the infected eat brains."
I'm over here thinking I made it on time. I must have missed that.
No, it was the first 15, 20 minutes of the film?
Something like that.
What?
Yeah, it was in the beginning of the film.
Anyway, I missed it.
Yeah, because he's sitting there and everybody's in the back,
Yeah.
basically eating the rest of the bodies and shit. But yeah, overall 4.5. I'm looking forward to the next one. I want to see more of the. See, my interest is more in the development of Samson because I think he's such a great character.
He is a great character.
But 4.5.
All right. You started mentioning it that there was just a lot of scenes there that exposition, is that what it's called? And like, I was like, okay, we could have taken some of this out. You could have delivered the same movie and I think edited it down a little more. Because another part, you're building a trilogy and you want to hope all the movies are all great. If you want to make somebody sit there and watch, long 3 movies in a row. Yeah, I kind of like that. Like it was just, I thought it could have been cut a little bit more. And then I had a problem with timeline, because it felt as if Ian and Samson were around each other for like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But meanwhile, the stuff that's going on with Alfie and the Jimmies is all like current, and that now they're heading over there. So when you're getting their interaction, especially you got daytime, nighttime, daytime.
Yeah, I can see that.
But meanwhile, with you got the Jimmies, it's not like they're like on a different timeline here. So I was like, okay, I'm thrown off here. And you said it happened too fast. It happened too fast because everything was going normal timeline with your other characters. And then you get all this long. So unless that was a past and I felt like it was all happening present, you know what I mean? I don't think you were getting a flashback.
Pickup. I didn't. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
So I don't
right.
think it was a flashback. It felt all current, but it just threw me off because how is it current? Because it seems like they're together days. Meanwhile, Jimmy's going to be there in about a day.
He was like,
and you spent 3 days. Yeah, and you spent 3 days. You're out by a lake. You're dancing, And by the way, I know everybody is here for Iron Maiden. I was here for Duran Duran. I'm a huge Duran Duran fan. So the fact that the band that of course, you probably couldn't find a lot of records, and it was
Ian
a
had
wind
a good
up
collection though.
Oh yeah, he had a good one. But yeah, I was when he was, and I'm like in the theater, like don't sing, like just stop yourself from singing. And I'm like humming the song, because there's no talking, but but that was like where I had just the one big issue. It is just timeline wise, it just the movie it didn't seem if like a plot hole, I guess we can call that. But yeah, Jack, Ralph, they kicked ass. I don't think I'm ever going to see Ralph Fiennes any other way anymore. Like this man has now put himself dancing to Iron Maiden in my head probably for the rest of my life.
I thought you were talking about when he was like full frontal naked.
Yeah, well, I mean, I also didn't need to see that. I didn't need to see that at all. No, it's just it was a great performance, but it's like one of those where
I love that.
He has done so many great movies, but the thing when somebody mentions his name, I'm just gonna see this now. So
the number of the beast.
Yes, and him performing it. But I mean, for me, it's a 4, and only because, like I said, as I kept thinking about just things were going on, and then the runtime just kind of dragged me down on what I wanted to see more of the development of the characters.
Interesting, yeah.
But some of the exposition put in there, you kind of killed your own momentum in there. And also, I know that he liked when Samson's like walking around. It made me think a little bit of In a Violent Nature, where we got the image of our thing just walking around. So because there were a couple extras, like there was a couple extra scenes, and I get it. You could have done a couple of those, but it just seemed there was a little bit too many of those scenes. You could have cut it down. We understood what was going on. We get it. He's starting to come back. His memories are coming back. Ian made him a freaking not meth because probably was methadone.
It was opium.
Opium. He probably created his own thing of methadone, which is
that
why.
Cloud out. Yeah.
Well, that's why he kept coming
morphine.
back.
It was morphine. He started running out of morphine.
But he first did it to stop him, probably to protect himself, and then all of a sudden he picked up. Oh, motherfucker! So you're coming back because you want your dose. And at that point, the movie seemed like we were now going about a couple of weeks of them coming every day, hanging out. Him trying to cure him because again, it did. He figured it out in about a day or two, as opposed to the feeling that you got that he figured this out in an amount of like 3 weeks. Which is the feeling that I got from it. But yeah, a 4 for me on that one. But overall, definitely looking forward to the next one. Yeah. I will say, I'm going to go first real quick, and then I'll ask you guys. Yeah. Like for closing off the trilogy here, I kind of don't want to see Jimmy again. I think like just where it ended, let's done. Go. Yeah. I'm hoping that we don't have Jimmy again.
They did a good cap for a story.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Jamie come back because I kind of wondered why did we not get him at some point in time going, I need to find my son.
Yeah.
But again, this is also at this point, because it's been a couple of days, a day or 2 or 3, because again, the timeline, it's literally the movie is a couple of days. But what I want to know is because you get in some of these movies, you got Jimmy's flashback, you got Samson's flashback. I want to see Jim's flashback with him and Selena, her getting pregnant. Yes. And obviously with Sam is the daughter, like seeing how they, and don't make the whole entire, like I don't want to see the whole movie on that, because you've created these characters are all going to intersect on us. So if you spend your whole movie on that background, just give me a little bit on that. I want to see how they ended up together like that.
If the opening of the third and final act in the trilogy opens with Jim starting from when we last saw him, going through the years up to where he's at now, I will buy the highest ABV alcohol I can find, and you have to drink it on Brains and Brews Live.
All right.
If that happens, because you know what, you might be onto something, bro.
I mean, you got everybody got a little flashback in here, and I think even didn't Kelson Ian also get a flashback? I
don't think so. No, not when he.
No, he didn't get a flashback.
Oh,
we got a flashback through the photos he had of him and his wife.
His family,
No,
yeah. You
his
saw
family,
there was
his
definitely
younger.
pictures of Ralph Fiennes when he was young with long
Oh
hair.
my
and stuff.
God.
I forgot he was in Strange Days. Somebody had posted
Oh
that
yeah.
movie recently. I'm like, oh, I forgot he was in
He
that.
was the
fucking-
main guy in Strange
I was
Days.
like, look at this guy. He looks like he's fucking handsome guy. Over fucking 28 years later, this guy's so fucking. He reminds me of fucking the villain from the Temple of Doom. I forgot his name. God dang.
Oh
You
God,
know what I'm
I know who you're
about.
talking about. But yeah, no, I left the movie. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the next one. You know, if
What
it's
was your
going to
question?
be a runtime, huh? You know
You
what?
asked me,
What?
Joe a question. I forgot what it was.
But I'm just saying, like, what you're hoping to
Oh,
see for the
gotcha.
next one.
Oh yeah.
If your runtime's gonna be long, don't put in a whole bunch of exposition. That's like all I gotta say. You know, then I'll go to JR, and then JR Rick, when you go, give us yours and then
Yep.
send us home, bro.
Gotcha, brother. Gotcha, brother.
And then just because we mentioned it throughout here, next week, Lexi is joining us. We're going to be doing Return to Silent Hill. But JR, what do you want to see for the next one?
Well, before I answer that question, one thing I would point out real quick though is, as far as the timeline goes, like I still think the fact that he was taking all these notes, so he's been experimenting on Samson for a while, because there's a lot of notes he was taking as far as the dosage he was giving Samson as far as the morphine goes. He had it planned out how much morphine I have left. Basically, got 2 weeks left with you, and then this is where he started doing the other drug. Because remember, his intent was to kill Samson. He was basically going to overdose him to kill him because he wanted to basically end the suffering. And then, as far as when the timeline goes, when you see the Jimmys walking, and then you see the landscape, if you look at, if we watch it again, the far left hand side is you see the smoke where basically Dr. Ian is. So that's that couple of days off from going that direction. And then you lost a day too, because remember, Ian woke up looking for Samson. Samson never no-showed. And that's when Jimmy came and sat down and talked to him. So that was basically so the whole time we're expecting, and you said you're expecting Samson to show up when the Jimmys came. And the fact that they held off on that, I give them kudos for that, because I'll be honest, I was expecting Samson to watch Jimmy, stab the fucking dude and Samson go nuts. But the fact that they held back on that, I give them kudos, because they could have went that route too.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things in this film that it has to have like a second and third watch, because I think there's a lot of things in this film that even
I can't wait to see this.
I feel like I missed, so I can't wait to rewatch it. But as far as what I'm looking forward to in the third one, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing what is there a connection between Jim and then Anthony Johnson. What is the connection?
Is it a basketball player?
No, I think what was his name? I forgot his name.
Aaron.
Well,
Jamie
Aaron
is the name.
what-
Jamie is the name of the father.
because
Aaron's
obviously he knows this. He must know this village exists. So why is he far away from the village? What is the reason why? Is the kid gonna tell him this is where I came from? So I'm sure there's some kind of connection between those two.
He knew he would have went over. He knew Spike would have went to go see Dr. Ian Kelson.
So I think he
Because
knows
he asked
there's a
questions
lot
about
he knows.
it.
Mhm. There's a lot he knows, and
You're right. He's gonna
the
show up.
question is gonna be is why is he secluded from everybody? What is it that is keeping him away? Because I think that's the bigger story. Because remember, this is the guy who was basically he was the hero in the first one. We didn't get to see him in the second. We didn't know what happened in the second one, but there's I'm sure there's a story of why he's far away from everybody. Which probably leads to maybe there's a tie with what happened to Celine, tying to that village. So there's a lot of story here that's still there. As far as the runtime, I think we might get like a 2 hour and 10-minute film, because I think there's so much they have to unpack.
How long was this one?
An
Under
hour
2
and
hours.
50
Little under
minutes.
2, right?
under.
An hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
But it went fast though. I didn't feel like I was in the movie theater for that long. How you could tell you movie theater long, we're halfway through the movie, you're like, damn, I gotta go take a piss. And I never got that feeling because I was so into the movie. But yeah, I think there's so much more story to tell. I think there's so much more characters that we probably still haven't seen yet. And I keep going back to this. I want to see Jimmy's father come with his whole new congregation, because I think that's going to be the final battle at the end.
Not true, Ricky.
Yeah. So same. Very, very good points by Jr. I want to see again more of Aaron Taylor Johnson's character. I want to see how the baby is progressing, And what would be cool is like there has to imagine like a big battle at the end of this movie. Let's say Samson goes back because Samson, you said it, Joe. He's not getting his dosages anymore, and whatever concoction that Ian gave him at the end, because he said, you know what, Ian knew there's a chance that this fucking cult's gonna kill him. He knows, so he said, you know what, I was working on something, but I gotta fast track it. He gave him that concoction, and that's what opened up his mind completely. And the fact that when he was in the train and he was going through all like the flashbacks, and when he looks at the infected, and when he spoke in his regular voice, like I don't have a ticket, that just like I blew my mind. Like, oh my! But all of a sudden he kicks back into fucking Samson mode. Like, oh, there's something there. So if he could somehow find a way, I mean, I doubt it because he was getting treatments and drugs. The other motherfuckers can't, obviously, but. I want to see we didn't get it here, but I would love to see a big battle between the infected and, like, let's say where fucking the village is, where all the other non-infected are hunkered in, But that's what I want to see. I want to see a big. If it's the last one, give us something big and explosive. But if you don't get that, give us. I want Jim to have a nice character piece here to kind of wrap up his story in a sense, I would like that. I don't want him to kill him, or he doesn't even have to be the main character. Just have him in there interacting with the characters we know now. Let's say, maybe it's the people that were running. Did we see a good shot of who it was that was running?
No, it was just. I think they were just running from people that were.
Yeah, because imagine if all of a sudden we find out in the next movie the people that were running was Spike and
it was Spike.
It is Spike. Oh yeah, I thought. Yeah, that's them. I thought you meant who was chasing Spike and Ink. I think is the name of
Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly. Yeah. That was Jimmy and Kelly. So if it's okay, so that was Spike. Okay, good. Mm-hmm. This is why it's good to do a rewatch. All right. So now we got Spike, Kelly, and now we got Jim together. Now they're probably gonna head over back to where Spike lives. They're all gonna get together, and I want to see a big confrontation with a huge group of infected, and somehow Samson factors into that. That is what I would like to see.
Same. That's a good one. Guys, that was another great one.
Yeah, man. Good times. Big Joe, you know what to do?
You take us home.
Oh, you're right. I got to take us home. Hold on. And let's go. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us on another episode of 3 Corners of Horror. Joe the Psychologist, JR the Villain, Ricky Van. Come back next week when the 4th corner joins us as we review Return to Silent Hill. My man James Sutherland is back, so let's go. Oh, we got one comment here real quick. Let me hit this real quick. Adam says, can we talk about the setup Ian did for that final scene with the Jimmies? He climbed and lit a lot of candles on those. I thought about that. When I saw all those candles lit, I'm like, God dang, he lit every single individual fucking candle on every single pillar. I don't know about that. How much time this guy had?
That would take a day. But that's okay.
That goes back into what Joe was saying earlier. The time.
Well, remember that whole time he was doing that, Samson didn't show up, so he had all that planning to do. I think the reason he did all that too is because
that's meticulous work.
What a better way to bring infected there, because he knew he was gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He knew he was going. That's why he gave Samson a means to survive, because he won't survive in that outside world once the doses runs out. But with that being said, thank you everyone. We appreciate it. I'm a horror fiend. GR's a horror fiend. Joe's a horror fiend. We're all horror fiends. Stay good. Stay healthy. Watch horror movies. Most of all, stay scared. I missed the button too. I meant to click it, but I fucked it up. I see you, Joe. I see.